it's becoming more apparent that we are looking at the fact, or we're facing the fact that Carmelo Anthony may never win a championship. Part of it is his doing. He could have played better in certain parts. He could have made better decisions. But there are a lot of external factors which have come to play out. And, you know, with this whole New York Knicks situation with Steve Mills and the Knicks trying to get him to stay put, that is one of the major factors why Carmelo Anthony may never win a championship. The biggest mistake Carmelo made in his career was back in Denver, where he had an option on his contract to take like a 3-year deal. Dwayne Wade took a 3-year deal that summer. On the Miami Heat, LeBron James took like a 3-year deal with a player option. Carmelo Anthony, I think he went and took a 4-year deal or a 5-year deal. Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, contracts were up. Guess who their third wheel was? Chris Bosh. That third wheel possibly could have been Carmelo Anthony. Now, they spoke with Carmelo Anthony about this, and Melo basically brushed them guys off and said, you know, I'm going to get my money. So that pretty much started the whole domino effect. You know, he got traded to New York, and the story has been bleak ever since. But that is, to me, that's his major mistake. Because honestly, Carmelo Anthony's play, big moments, he's been a big player. He can score with the best of them. He's not the greatest defender, but in the league, there are a lot of not great defenders. A lot of people that don't play great. Kyrie Irving doesn't play great defense, and he's NBA champion. So, you know, in spurts, Kyrie can play defense, but overall, he's not like a lockdown. He's going to lock you down and stuff like that. Nothing like that. So, at the end of the day, his biggest mistake, personally, was not signing a 3-year deal to go into free agency with Wade, LeBron, and with Wade and LeBron. That was the whole plan from the jump. LeBron and Wade basically spoke, and they spoke to Melo about this, like, hey, don't sign a long-term deal, you know, because we might be able to do something. And Melo just brushed it off. So that's his major faux pas, because he was never ever able to team up with those guys in their prime, in his prime. But other than that, there are so many external factors why Carmelo Anthony won't win the championship. One of it is general managers and the way that teams have been treating Carmelo Anthony. Teams treat Carmelo Anthony like a C-list celebrity. You remember in Denver where his coach George Karl was talking badly about him, was saying that he was a cancer to the team. And then not so many words he said that, but basically saying that Carmelo Anthony didn't gel with the team. He didn't gel with Melo. It was public. It was so ugly and despicable. And the general manager of the Denver Nuggets never thought about taking it upon himself to go downstairs and tell George Karl to shut up. George Karl was talking badly about another employee of the Denver Nuggets, and the Denver Nuggets never ever tried to make amends or try to get an ounce of modicum of respect. Ever since then, that has been damaging Carmelo Anthony's brand, and teams view him as like a problem child. Even when he went to New York, Phil Jackson, another general manager, started criticizing Carmelo Anthony, started talking all this trash about his game and stuff like that. Even before Phil, when they had Jeremy Lin, and people were saying that, you know, the Knicks organization was saying that, oh, Melo has a problem with playing that style that Lin plays. He likes to have the ball in his... Why are these organizations talking badly about their star player? You are paying this person. This person is your star player. This person is why people buy tickets, and you're talking badly about him. Carmelo Anthony cannot win with GMs. Teams basically have, the two franchises that he has been with his career, they have a disrespect and disdain for Carmelo Anthony. And it all started in Denver with George Karl and the owner of the Denver Nuggets not taking up for him. You know, like, I know in Cleveland, David Blatt was talking a lot of trash about LeBron, how he was lazy sometimes on defense. Guess what happened to David Blatt? He got fired. You know, the Nuggets should have fired George Karl when he was doing all that, because Carmelo Anthony is worth more to that franchise than what George Karl was doing. George Karl had success in Seattle, but what Carmelo Anthony brought to the table, and if they could possibly build around him and bring in guys with more maturity, they could have went far. Think about this. When Carmelo Anthony had Chauncey Billups on the squad, they went to the Western Conference Finals. So you telling me they couldn't replicate that again? No. And you know why? Because of the GM and the way that they treat them. Same thing with the Knicks. The Knicks had a promising squad, and then they basically did a bait and switch. They did a bait and switch. They traded Melo for all those pieces. You know, that's another thing Melo could have done. He could have been a little bit more patient in Denver, waited out his contract, and then signed with them in free agency. Then the Knicks could have had Gallinari, Wilson Chandler, etc., etc. But okay, the Knicks, they traded for Carmelo Anthony. They said, we're going to build around you. Where's all this building around you? You get Tyson Chandler. You get a whole bunch of older guys. And then, you know, the Knicks had like a nice little run with Jason Kidd, but other than that, they never really built around them. And then every other player that they drafted, like Porzingis, they basically started saying how they're going to build around that person, like Carmelo's chopped liver. You got to understand, Carmelo is not a bum, and nor should he be treated like one. So it's just like the blatant disrespect by organizations. And so, you know, the whole 3-year deal hurts him. The disrespect from organizations, how they treat him, how they don't give him any kind of respect. And then you got to factor in the simple fact that the Knicks are holding him hostage because they don't want to let him go, because they want to bait and switch him again. Hey, stay here, but we're going to draft young guys. It's all about, you know, if you read between the lines, the Knicks say they want to build around young talent and the young players. So why do you want to keep Carmelo Anthony? It doesn't make any sense. The two don't make any sense. So they're hurting him right there. Then on top of that, Melo wants to go to the Rockets, or he wants to go to Cleveland. There's no guarantee going to Houston that he could possibly get out of the West. The West is 10 times more wild than it used to be. CP3 on the Rockets. Okay, that's a good look. That's a good look, quote unquote. Here's the thing about Chris Paul. Chris Paul hasn't been healthy for the past 3 seasons in the playoffs. He's broken his hand. He's done he's had all kind of injuries. So if Melo gets traded to Houston, are you going to have healthy CP3? On top of that, is it going to be another situation like with Denver where the Rockets are going to have to give up a whole bunch of pieces? If the Knicks are smart, they'll make the Rockets unload everything. They'll want Ariza. They'll want Anderson. They'll possibly try to get Nene. They will try to do something. The Knicks, if they're smart, they'll do something drastic. Now they have the new GM is somebody from the Kings, so I don't think that they're that bright. But if it was me, I would say I want Ariza. I want Nene. I want Anderson. I want our draft pick. That's how big it would be. So if Carmelo gets traded to the Rockets, if the Rockets have to unload a lot, there's no way in hell that the Rockets are going to have the firepower to compete with Golden State or the Spurs. So that move is out because you're going to a conference that's hella more potent than what you're in now. Now let's just say Carmelo Anthony was able to force a trade to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Okay, you force a trade to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now you're playing with LeBron, who every day he's ready to leave. Then you have a situation where Kevin Love would have to be in that deal. There's no way that they'll be able to trade Kevin Love for Carmelo straight. You know, there's no way that they'll be able to get Carmelo Anthony and not unload Kevin Love. There's no way. Like if the Knicks are like 5-year-old kids, I don't even think a 5-year-old kid would make that move. So there's a big problem for Melo. He can't go to Houston. He could go to the Cavs, but the Cavs, it'll be like another big three. And it'd just be the same thing, scoring. And to beat the Golden State Warriors, you need more than scoring. You need defense. You need rebounding. You need like a lot of moves. If they were able to get Carmelo Anthony, then keep Kevin Love, that'd be great. That'd be in the ideal situation, ideal world, that'd be perfect. But that's not what's gonna happen. So let's just say Carmelo gets traded for Love. Now he goes there. You go play Golden State with Carmelo, LeBron, and Kyrie Irving. You have 2 scorers and 1 facilitator, and nobody else to do dirty work like Kevin Love. Like Carmelo gets rebounds, but a lot of dirty work, Carmelo doesn't do it. Like he doesn't set screens for players, and he doesn't get involved in the pick and roll. There's a lot of things Melo doesn't do. So that being said, it's just like he's going from one crappy situation to the next crappy situation because Cleveland seems better to everybody. But here's the problem with Cleveland. If you don't win, you get ridiculed, and LeBron will threaten to leave. Here's the problem with Houston. Chris Paul has not been healthy in 2 or 3 straight years, and you're just expecting to all of a sudden be healthy now? Or, you know what I'm saying? So it's just very... Melo is in a catch-22, and it's sad to say that he just might never win a championship. That's just the bottom line. GMs don't respect him. Nobody will come to his defense. The teams that he wants to go to, they'll have to unload a lot. So getting Melo would mean sacrificing a whole bunch of things. And the thing is like Melo's not really in his prime anymore for you to make that kind of sacrifice. So that's another issue. And then he has to choose the lesser of two evils. Go play in the Western Conference where you might not even go to the finals and get to play to win a ring because you get smoked by Golden State. Or stay in the Eastern Conference, try to force a trade to Cleveland. You'll get out of the East, but you're gonna get smoked by the by the Golden State Warriors again. So Melo is just in a situation where everything boils back to that decision. If just took a 3-year deal and then went to Miami. What would my life have looked like? So only if I listened to LeBron and Wade. Only if I took that kind of situation seriously. So right now, Melo wants to head to Houston, but there's no guarantees. And it hurts me because I like Melo. Over the years, I've liked his game. I like his attitude. Like when the Knicks were talking bad about, all these teams were talking bad about him, Melo never really responded in the media. He has been loyal almost to a fault in certain situations. And the situations where he thought would be greener pastures, i.e. New York Knicks, didn't work out. And it looks like it's going to be more of that for his career. This is Vlad from Hoops Junction with Hoops Meets Hoopla. Peace.